Hello everyone. The course name is Banking Regulation and Operations. The unit is Principles of Bank Lending, and the topic that I'll be covering through this presentation is on bills discounted. So what do you mean by bills discounting? Bills discounting is the process of trading the bill before it becomes due for payment at a price less than its face value. In bill discounting, the financier gets income from discounting charges or interest. So bills discounting, let's see the process with an example. Suppose a businessman sold goods to Mr. X worth of $10,000, but Mr. X does not have the money to pay today, but he is certain to pay on a later date, say after 2 months. So now he draws a bill in the businessman's favor, which says, I promise this person to pay an amount of $10,000 after 2 months, and signs the underneath. It's absolutely fine with the businessman, but he can't wait till 2 months, as even he needs cash for running his business on daily basis. Thereby, he discounts this bill with his bank 2 months before its due date at 15% per annum, a rate of discount. Now, the bank pays the drawer an amount of $9,750 after deducting an applicable commission of $250. So here, the businessman, who is also the drawer of the bill, sold goods and also got paid without having to lose either to his customer or the business. Mr. X got the goods not having paid today, and the bank made a good commission. So this is how typically a bill discounting works. So further explaining it using a suitable diagram based example. Suppose here a person is there who is the seller or exporter of goods, and there is another person who is a buyer or the importer of the goods. Okay, so when these two people enter into a contract for drawing a bill of exchange, this person who is a seller becomes the drawer of the bill of exchange, and the person who is the importer or the buyer becomes the drawee of the bill of exchange. So the drawer draws the bill of exchange on this drawee, who is the buyer or importer, who might be based in some other countries. And this bill of exchange is considered to be properly endorsed or duly endorsed only when this drawee accepts the bill of exchange. This is one of the most important concepts. So unlike many other negotiable instruments, a bill of exchange will not be considered as a valid document unless and until it is being accepted by the drawee. So the drawee needs to sign and accept it, then only the endorsement is completed. Okay, and once the drawer receives the completely endorsed bill of exchange, he can use that to get payment from a bank before the period of the bill of exchange gets over. Right, so suppose the bill of exchange states that payment will be made in a period of 2 months, and the drawer does not want to wait for the period of 2 months, then obviously he can discount that bill with the payee bank. Okay, that is the bank in which he is having an account. So this bank will accept the bill of exchange and get it discounted for the customer before the due date of 2 months, right? And for that, the bank charges a commission or discounts the bill at certain percentage, which is known as the discounting bill of exchange process. So suppose the value of the bill of exchange is $10,000, then the bank, after reducing $250 of its commission, will be providing the seller only with $9,750. So in short, the drawer gets the payment before the period of 2 months. Okay, and he is saved from the risk of non-payment. At the same time, the drawee also can wait for 2 months and make the payment after 2 months, and the bank who is discounting the bill of exchange also get a good commission of say $250 in this case. So all the three parties are benefited in this process. So how does the bill discounting process happens? The process of bill discounting is as follows. An invoice is raised by the seller after he has sold the goods on credit. The buyer accepts the invoice. By acquiring, the buyer acknowledges paying on the due date. It is discounted after the seller approaches the financing company. So the legitimacy of the bill and the creditworthiness of the buyer is assured by the financing company. After deducting appropriate margin, discount, and fee as per the norms, the financing company avails the fund to the seller. Now, funds are given to the seller for further use in the business. So the financial intermediary or the seller collects the money from the buyer on the due date, who collects the money depends on the agreement between the seller and the financing institution. So this is the same example that I have already explained. In this, finally, how does a bank or the payee bank gets the money from the drawee? Like the drawee and the drawee enters into bill of exchange contract of $10,000. Okay, and the drawer gets it, discounted from the bank. Say, suppose he's getting $9,750 against that bill, and $250 is the bank's charge. And when the 2 months are over, like the maturity period of the bill of exchange is over, then the bank will ask the drawee to make the payment. So he will present the bill and got the payment here, right? So this is how a bill of exchange works, and this is how a bank at later point of time gets the bill drawn from the drawee. Now, bills can be presented to the bank in two ways. Okay, so one is with recourse and another one is without recourse. So with recourse means that the buyer is liable for debts not paid by the buyer. If the bank is not able to collect the payment, the seller required to refund the cash in advance for that particular invoice. With recourse usually means that a higher percentage of each invoice is made available because the bank knows that they can reclaim the amount if necessary. Whereas without recourse means the seller's bank does not check the documents. In turn, all documents to be checked by the buyer's bank. The bank is offering seller discounting without recourse. They are accepting full liability for non-payment of the buyer's debt. So this arrangement is suitable if there is a doubt about repayment ability either now or in the future. So in with recourse, in simple words, like once the transfer is done to the payee bank, but still if the payee bank does not get the payment from the drawee, then obviously he can ask the drawer to make the payment. That means that risk still resides with the drawer. Whereas in case of without recourse arrangement, once the bill is no given to the payee bank, there is no more liability with the drawer. So it becomes the bank's liability to get the payment from the drawee. So this is how the two types of system works in a bill of exchange. So I just hope this gives a very good idea about the bill of exchange, the way it works, and the different types of bill of exchange facilities available. Thank you so much for watching.